Welcome back to the power of purpose, where all things works together to make you great. Be it good, bad, ugly, whatever you have gone through, it will somehow be aligned to make you the best person that you can be. People say that diamond, gold, all the great minerals have been shaped for years. Minerals have been shaped for years and years underneath on the dark side of world. Somehow by heat, by all kind of stuff, to have a diamond, to have a gold that you have. So the people that inspire us, that motivate us, somehow most of those have gone through the dark curves, have gone through the hardest part of their life. This is not exceptional for a guest I have today. It's a great woman of God, an apostle by calling. She has been so much. Before being who she is today, she has gone through between the rock and the devil, the deep sea, as they say. Now this, all that has happened to her, has shaped her to be who she is today. Somehow, all was part of the plan. I am not sure. But somehow, all these things have designed her, they have shaped her, they have mentored her, they have pruned her to be the best that she could be and deliver what she delivers, trying to help others who are going through the similar situation. Now, this is your time to hear the story of her life. How are you, ma'am?
I'm blessed.
Briefly, would you just give an overview to our guest and the audience? Who is Apostle Petrina?
Petrina is Kauna Power. I was born in Ombalantu, a village called Omakoko. I grew up with my grandmother, and later I went to stay with my mom in a place called Oshikuku. That's all in Omsati region. When I grew up with my grandmother, I thought she's my mother because I was a little girl. I remember 5 years, 6, 7, and 8, I moved to Oshikuku, where things have changed. What I have learned at my grandmother is not what I found at my mother's house. I passed a lot of rejection, abuse, rape at the age of 8.
But wait, when you were born and you're being raised by your grandmother, why? Where was your mother? Where was your father?
I never met my father.
To this very day?
Yeah, he passed on when I was 14 years old. I only remember that my mom said, "No, your father passed on, let's go." Okay. Let's go. I can't even remember the face. I don't know.
How did you end up at your grandmother's house?
I don't know.
You never asked your mother?
I don't know. We don't have good communication.
Mm-hmm.
We're not so much friends. We became friends when I grown up.
Mm-hmm.
So I was lonely. I was feeling like I'm not welcome in that house. I thought she is not my mom. Mm-hmm. I always believed that my grandmother was my mother.
So you moved to your mother's house, and how was the treatment now at your mother's house?
Yeah, at times it's good because she taught me how to make business, how to work, how to do those cakes and all those biscuits, because she was a businesswoman. And but there was no time for her to show me love like my grandmother. There was no time for us to talk as I'm a lady. And we always had to be at home, and when we sleep, at time I went to sleep at my stepfather's room, and where he do all the dirty things in the night, which was very hard, and I couldn't tell her.
You moved back to your mother's house, and your stepfather began to sexually abuse you.
Yes.
How old were you when that happened?
At that time I was 8, 9 years old.
How long did that abuse take?
It went until I was 13, 14 years old, until I ran away from home.
So from 8 until you were 14 years old, this was happening inside your mother's house by your stepfather?
Yes.
So What happened? How did your mother treat you in that moment? Why didn't you tell your mother?
Oh, I was very scared.
Why were you scared?
I was scared because I'm not used to her, and she might think I'm lying.
You thought maybe your mother wouldn't believe you?
Yeah, and it was a taboo that time.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell, can't say anything like that.
Okay. So at the age of 13, you said you ran away from home.
Yeah.
To Windhoek.
No, first I just used to sleep outside.
At first you used to sleep outside?
Yeah, there was some cars outside there, damaged cars. I used to sleep in those cars. Remember one day I sleep in the toilet outside the house. And then my mom thought I'm dating, I'm having boyfriends. Mm-hmm. Starting beating me,
yeah,
calling me names. That's where the hatred started.
So, but she didn't know actually the abuse was from inside the house?
No, she didn't know that.
And that was the reason you moved to begin to sleep in the cars outside the house?
Yeah, I become like a street girl.
Street girl.
I even changed like a boy.
You were chained?
Yeah.
In real chains?
Yeah.
Like an animal?
Yeah, she chained me like an animal because she think I'm walking around, I'm sleeping around. So whenever she go to the market, she will take a chain and she put me in the hut and I will be there sitting.
How old were you when that happened?
13, from 13.
From 13 years old?
Yeah.
How did you feel?
By that time, I felt bad. I felt hatred. I started hating my other sisters, my half-sisters. Start hating everything that is coming in front of me. I become aggressive. I become with the spirit of anger. I don't have peace. Mm-hmm. Whoever is coming in front of me, I start fighting. Mm-hmm. So it was very, very bad. Mm-hmm. Bad.
Beside the fear of you not telling your mother that you were being sexually abused by your stepfather in the same house, were there other cultural beliefs and practices that might have prevented you from telling the truth of what was happening?
Yeah.
Like?
Because you cannot do it because they think you are lying. You know, I'm a child and I cannot say something like that to my mother's husband. Mm-hmm. It will be a shame outside. People think that you're sleeping with your mom and he's sleeping with you. Mm-hmm. And for me, I can't tell her. She was not so much close to me. We're not so much close. We don't share. Yeah. Yeah, so for me, it was really like, inside me, because I was a child, I thought she knew. Mm-hmm. And whenever we go to sleep, when I sleep in that bed, I wish she knew what that husband is doing to me in the night, because he used to drink alcohol. When he's drunk, he do whatever he wants to do.
So at 13, you ran away from home.
14, I ran away from home.
From 14?
Yeah.
You come to Windhoek. How did you manage to run and come to Windhoek?
I think unluckily I did not have good friends. Okay. Because if they were good, they can correct me, but the one were helping me to escape. Okay. And one of the friends came to Windhoek with me, and that's where I went to look for my stepbrother, and I want to stay there.
So you came to Windhoek and began to stay with your stepbrother.
Yes.
Did you narrate the situation to your stepbrother?
Yeah, he used to travel a lot, but the wife was at home. But when I came there also, the same situation doesn't change. Where my brother-in-law so raped me. Mm-hmm. He raped me, and when I told the wife she was angry. She think I'm just lying.
This was now also your brother-in-law?
Yeah, it's my brother-in-law. Raped me. Mm-hmm. And there
And when you told your sister, she also didn't believe
you? She started calling me names.
At what age was that?
15 years old.
15?
Yeah. At the end, I got boyfriends. I get pregnant at the 17 years old. I was pregnant.
You got pregnant at 17 years old?
17 years old.
And then after that, what happened? How was life?
I have to go back home. I was my father's daughter was not supporting me. At the time, he was even rejecting that it's not her daughter. because he had a lot of story. Now you're sleeping with this guy, which even things which are not true. I was calling it a bad luck. Things that I did not do, people were saying I did it. So when I got pregnant, I was at my brother's house. We've been there. I gave birth to my baby daughter, and I went back home. And my mother, the first time I saw my mom, was crying. We spoke, been staying there with my mother, and then for me, I was feeling hatred. I couldn't forgive her. Because I thought she knew that the husband, what he was doing to me, I thought she knew why I ran away from home. But later I knew that she did not know. And then my sisters, they were like, Nuna, this one is not our father's daughter, and this one, the father is Kwanyama, the father is what, a lot of things, but I don't know my father. I will look at him as my father because the only man I know that is my father, I called Papa. So then I left the house again, and I get pregnant with another daughter at the age of 20.
Okay.
But the good thing is I always have God in my heart.
So you have 2 daughters now?
I have one, the firstborn person.
At what age did the firstborn pass on?
The age of 3.
When she was 3 years to pass on?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you're pregnant at the age of 20. What happens? How is life after that?
Yeah, then I grown up, I start understanding. And I got many people who've been helping me, especially people from Holland, people from Germany, because we are at the place where we are. There's a school, there's a hospital, there's Catholic things, and there were a lot of people coming, like ward teaching and Peace Corps volunteers, and I get involved. I get involved, and I had some doctors who were my friends, and they put me to be working in the hospital, helping and volunteering myself and many things. Then they saw something in me, and they start sending me to schools. They start sending me to nice programs, and they send me also to Christ Hope International, where they teach me a Bible. They teach me how to be a home-based care.
Well, all that was happening before you were married?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I left. I went to stay with my cousin, a part of my father now, in Okahanja. And I left. I got married in Walvish Bay. That's when I was 24 years old.
So, you get married to the father of the second child or to the...
No, because the second father died, passed on. Passed on when my daughter was 9 years old. So, the reason for me to go and allow myself to get married
at the age of
24. It's not because I really wanted to get married.
Yeah.
It's not really that I loved my husband, you know. It's because I need a place to stay. I needed to be away from home. I needed peace. I needed just to be alone, to have a place that I call is mine, for me to be free. But when I got married to my husband, he was very abusive. He was a drunkard. I really did not know that, and beating me. At time he beat me, and I collapsed, and I got in the hospital. At time I'll be at home, and nobody can come, even my own family, they cannot come and visit me. I was like, I'm in chain. I was like, again, I'm in prison. And I left. We got married 2002, December, and I left in February. And
how long did you stay married?
Almost 1 year.
1 year. So you get married 2003, you leave. So when you left, where did you go?
I came back to my uncle in Windhoek. He came after 1 month to pick me up to go back home.
To the marriage?
To the marriage. I thought he changed, but he didn't change. It's the time he bring women at home.
While you're there?
Yeah. So it was very bad. I was not seeing any change from where I came from and to my marriage.
Yeah.
And something happened. He went to the north and he passed on.
There seemed to be kind of a trend in your life that kept on coming. The abuse, you know, from being born, from living from your mother's house through your stepfather, and all this life of abuse keeps on repeating itself. Beside what was happening to you, were there other choices that you made you do regret that maybe they might have contributed to some of negative things that happened in your life?
Yeah, because I tried many times to kill myself. Time I wanted to throw myself in the water, and one of my sisters saw me. At time also I didn't get a lot of tablets for me to die. At time I used my own knife just to stick myself because of that spirit of anger. At time I went many times to go and hang myself, maybe 3 times. And whenever I try to do that, there's always a voice. I always remember God because He was the only hope I have. There was no one else. When I'm in trouble, the things are always coming. The image that I used to see when I pray of Jesus blessing me is always coming. And for me, I was calling it an angel. And there's a time when I'm angry and I lose hope. I'll pray and I said, God, can you send me that angel again? The old angel that used to send me, I want to see him. And then he appeared. When he appeared, I feel peace.
So, somehow, at what stage now did you begin to move in the full-time pastoral or apostolic work?
That was 2013.
Yes.
Yeah, 2013.
What events led to that moment where you say, okay, I'm giving myself fully to dedicate my life to the works of God?
Yeah, that's where I learned how to forgive. I was sleeping in the night and a voice told me I must go and wake my mom. It was in the middle of the night. To go and ask her to forgive me, and I must also forgive her. So I went to wake her up. I said, Mom, I forgive you and forgive me. Because I thought you don't love me. I thought this and this. I told her everything. And she started crying. I said, okay, I forgive you too.
Yeah.
That's why I started telling her everything. But yet I not tell her about what the husband was doing to me. By that time, the husband is already gone. He's passed on. But I couldn't tell her. And these things used to come back when I'm angry. I always remember, I always blame him. It's because I not finished of school because of this man. It's because of this man. I was keep on go back to the past.
Yeah.
And then when I learn about forgiveness, I start forgiving myself and I start forgiving them, and that's where I start moving on.
So when you talk about forgiving, what did you really understand? What was the process of forgiving? How did you do it?
Yeah, it was a long process because my spiritual father is also a person now. He was a Zambian man, and he took care of me also. I was like his really daughter. But when he passed on, people were blaming me that I'm the one who witched him. I'm the one who killed him because I used to see things and they don't see them. When I went to the memorial service, people, they were chasing me. They were saying words to me. They even chased me out of that house. I have to go back home. And from there, I started also hating pastors. I started hating everything, even people preaching. I want to listen to them. I've been keeping myself in the room for 7 days. I don't wanted to speak to somebody. And then one night, I saw a chain. And there was a voice like, if you don't forgive, you'll be in chain. You will not be free. Because you're going to carry all those burdens. You're going to carry all those people you don't want to forgive. They will be following you wherever you're going. You better forgiving. So that's why I kept and I start praying and I find peace. So when you forgive, you feel peaceful.
Yeah.
If you forgive, then you get freedom. Because if you don't forgive, you are killing all those people with you. You need to release them and bless them for you to go forward. That's what I have learned.
So the forgiveness was part of the healing and the closure for what that happened in your life.
Yeah.
After you forgive, you get healed. You begin now to serve God and become the light of hope.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone back and talked to your mother of what happened to you when you were a kid?
No.
Is your mother still alive?
No. She passed on.
She died and you never told her what has happened?
I was late. Because when I went to the hospital to speak to her, she couldn't speak. And
so here is your mother. Somehow, in my sense, she is dying thinking the daughter is very disobedient. She's dying with this anger of somehow a disappointment that you never became what she thought you could be. Thinking you have been very disobedient, you have been a very naughty, crazy child that was sleeping around and doing all this. But inside you, you know the truth, saying what your mother thinks is not the truth, and she dies without you telling her.
Yeah, but when I grown up, when I start ministering, she believed. She believed, and she always encouraged me to do the work of God.
But you still didn't reveal what had happened.
I didn't.
So if you didn't reveal, you never expressed it to your stepfather. You never went back and faced him into the face and confront him the wounds that he afflicted on your soul as a little girl. And your mother as well does. Both of them, they leave this earth without you confronting them. My question is, how do you I understand when you say you're forgiven. You're forgiven, but how do you forgive somebody who doesn't say sorry?
I told her she must forgive me. And I'll forgive her. But she not ask why you want me to forgive, why you want me to forgive you, or why you want me to ask for you to be forgiven. For me, I thought she knew, because it was not only me who was bereaved by the husband.
So there were other sisters?
There were other cousins.
Cousins?
Yeah.
Who were going through the same abuse?
Mm-hmm.
Wherever she may be, beyond, wherever God has blessed your parents, both your stepfather and your stepmother, today you are here and people are watching you. You have become a blessing. You just came back from Angola, where you ministered to 14 churches and people were blessed by your ministry. You are now a woman of God, an apostle. You move across the world and you're busy blessing people. And many people, they may not understand how God has shaped you through all the dark moments. When you were a reject, you became accepted in the hand of God. Mm. What would be the few words would you say to somebody who might have experienced some misfortunes in their life and they have been rejected, they have been abandoned, they have been thrown off, and still people, and they are living life in a way that says, I no longer don't care, people don't love me, I better drink myself to death, I better sleep around myself to death. And somehow you're being through that and you have come out and they are now shining as gold, as diamond, through the hand or the fingerprint of God. What would you say?
What I would say is our time, it was a different time. But now we are free to talk to our parents. So our advice is to be good if you speak to your own mother. Advice is if you seek a counselor. Because we need to speak out.
Yeah.
If you don't speak out, something is killing you inside you. You might show up that you are happy outside, but inside is something which is capturing somebody. Something is eating you inside. So it will be good to speak out.
Yeah.
And whatever you are passing through, whether the rejection, whether being vulnerable, you'll be seeing that there's nobody there. It's always somebody. Jesus is there. God is always with us.
Yes.
God always protects us. Because for me, if it was not God, I could be dead.
Yeah.
I've tried a lot of things. I got involved with people who are dangerous. When you speak out, you get healed. When you seek for counseling, you get healed. When you look for somebody just to talk to, they will change. It's a testimony that can change somebody's life.
Yeah.
Somebody who was there, don't have anyone to talk to, he will see that. So even me, I was like that, and this one have changed. So me, I can also change.
Yeah.
For me now, it's no more anger. For me, it was like a school.
Yeah.
I have learned a lot. I have seen a lot of things happening, but now I have learned from all the mistakes I have made. I've learned from all the anger it was in me. I changed. I become a person that speak about love.
Yeah.
Although I was not having love, I become a person who speak about joy, about forgiveness, that I was not having. So for me,
There are those who want to give up in life. They have gone so much, and situation like yours, it keeps on repeating itself. One heartbreak, one moment, one rejection after another, just keeps on. So what would you say to people who wants to give up because this life seems not to be getting any better?
You need to know the purpose of God in your life. And when you have something like that you want, which is in front, you need to focus until you get what you want to do in your life. So you don't need to give up. You need to push, keep on pushing until you reach the level that you want to reach.
Yeah.
Nobody can stop you. So if you want to do something in your life that can make you to be who you want to be, you need to focus. And don't look around what had happened. Don't look at the past. Don't look at people who did bad things to you. You need to forgive them and focus. We need to show them that you can do it. So you need to go and speak to somebody. If you cannot speak to your mom, there's always somebody there who will listen to you. There is always a counselor that will listen to you. There is always somebody who will be close to you, and you tell the story. And that story that you're going to tell, somebody is going to be healed because of your story.
And if you're out there, you might be broken, beaten down by life, family, friends, all kind of people seem to be drifting away, and you have become the black sheep of your family, black sheep of the community. Your story can change. There must be a transformation. I want you to reach to a point where when you listen to this, you make up your mind that the best is in me. If you are still breathing, if you are still alive, that is a symbol of hope. If you can see the sun rises from the east and sets into the west, and another morning and another evening, it is a symbol that life has not given up on you. Destiny hasn't given up on you. Purpose is still running in your veins. There's so much power in you. There's so much potential.